Hello, this is Jess Hay from Creative Cards to You. Thanks for joining me. Today I am inspired by Tiffany Solario's Mixed Media Foundations 1 class to make this amazing card. To start off, I used a trick she shared about how to get distressed crayons to move on mixed media paper. I stamped these images on Strathmore mixed media paper with archival ink, and then I am putting collage medium on them and I set them aside to dry. I'm not sure which focal point I'll use, so I'll get them all ready. Now this video is long, but I wanted to show you the whole process, and making backgrounds is not always a quick process. If anyone can speed up the drying time, even with the dryer, that would be amazing. I did speed up the video, so hopefully that will help. I am using Tim Holtz Distress Spray Stains, and the colors are Tattered Rose, Victorian Velvet, Milled Lavender, Antique Linen, Tea Dye, and Frayed Burlap. The process I repeat over and over is either spraying it on, adding water, drying, and then repeating. Sometimes I tap the end of the nozzle stick on the paper if I don't want a full spray. At other times, I will add water by flicking it on the paper from my hand and drying it with a paper towel. You'll see towards the end of the background part that I will also use some oxide reinkers to put some Tattered Rose and Frayed Burlap on as well. I hope you stick around to the end because when I'm almost finished with the card, I have a near catastrophe that could have ruined it, so watch to see how I problem solve that one. I'll let the music go so you can enjoy the process. panel is done mostly to my satisfaction, I work on the focal point. I am using distress crayons in the shades of Crushed Olive, Rustic Wilderness, Tattered Rose, and Kitsch Flamingo. I needed the picture on the stamp to see what was a leaf and where the petals were. I put a spray of water on the glass mat and use my finger to rub around the pencil after I have colored parts of the focal image. I'm not sure why the rose didn't color more, or maybe it's a peony. Anyways, I'm not sure why the flower didn't color more. Maybe the application of collage medium was not enough on the petals as it was on the leaves and stem. It did look better after it dried, and I walked away, but in the moment I wanted more pink on the flower. I used a scripty stamp with some frayed burlap archival ink to add some interest to the background, and then I decided to stamp the focal image on the background as well. I also used Memento London Fog ink because I wanted a softer gray, so I could get the rest of the newspaper text around the flower. I used opaque crackle paste through this flourish stencil from a Colorful Life Designs and applied it to 3 areas. I then used antique linen distress glaze and put it on the crackle paste and dried it with the heat tool. I was okay with some of the glaze getting on the damp background too. That's the beauty of mixed media. Perfection is not the goal. roughed up the edges of the card panel with a distress tool. I used the London Fog Memento ink and applied some through the flourish stencil for continuity and a little bit of a darker color. The sentiment and the rub-on are from an old Lou Collins release when Craft Stash was open. I have not been brave enough to try and sew my card panel with a mini sewer I bought, so I'm going for the rub-on. All went great until I started pulling it away and the panel was not completely dry is what I think happened, and it started coming off. Has that ever happened to you? Your heart just kind of sinks to your toes when you see your hard work peeling off the card base? Well, I decided to try pulling from the bottom and from a 45-degree angle, and that seemed to work better. My workaround for this was to put some Victorian Velvet Distress ink on it, as well as some of the spray stain. And I don't think it's too noticeable in the end. I cut the sentiment in 3 pieces and distressed the edges and colored them with antique linen distress ink for kind of a vintage look. I glued a piece of recycled cardstock to the background for some dimension and glued it to a card base that was 5.5 by 4.25 inches. I adhered the sentiment to the panel, and there you have it, a completed card. Thanks so much for watching.